Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, friends, wherever you are watching me from different parts of the world. Today, I have come with a very interesting topic, and it is called as ancestor syndrome. So, before I explain more about it, let me first tell you all about our human body. So, all of us know our human body to be a physical body, something which is made up of very solid material, matter. However, from our knowledge of science, we know that at the minute level, final level, there are electrons, protons, and then there is energy only. So, at the end of it, we are also energy being, although it looks very solid. But if you think of the empty space between the atoms, then we are also energy being. So beyond matter is the energy, and so we are physical being as well as energy being. Of course, with the physical eyes we all can see this solid body, the form, which is very clear, which has got a name, which is functional. There's brain, there's liver, there's kidney, and it's a human being. So that is very solid part of it. But can I show you my emotions? No. Can I show you my thoughts exactly where they are? No. I can hide them, I can think about it. So just because we do not see doesn't mean it exists. It does exist, but it is existing in the form of energy. Also, let's put it as we are physical beings and we are also the energy beings. So the energy counterpart, I call it as subtle energy. Also, it is in the quantum field. So I'm going to speak also a little bit more about the quantum healing or quantum physics. But let's just hear that this is the physical part, this is the energy part. We have both. So in the energy part there are subtle bodies, there are chakras, and there are energy meridians. This is all known in acupuncture also, and also in Ayurveda. When we examine the nadi, the pulse, we are also reading the information which is also in our energy field. So it is in the subtle part of us. Now when we make flower remedies, the flower remedies are generally made without cutting a flower. We just take the healing energy of flower in water, and then this water is now absorbing just the biophotons or the energetic information of a particular flower. And so now this we take as drops. So now here is a system of remedies that I am showing you, which is only helping your energy counterpart. We are not talking about the physical remedy and the physical benefits. We are talking about something which helps the emotions and the thoughts. So the subtle aspect of us, our energy field. So all the flower remedies are nothing but the energetic information, and it helps the energy counterpart in us. So now there is a science called as quantum physics. This is nothing to do with our matter, because what it says that when matter becomes so fine that it almost loses its existence, then the energy part starts. So particle and matter, it's a dual existence. Particle is a like matter is a very solid existence, and the particle becomes wave, and that becomes the energy counterpart. Now, so enough of lot of complicated stuff. Let me now just say it in a very simple way, that when I treat my patients, I treat them mentally, emotionally, and physically. So it is called as holistic approach. The another thing, that every disease also mostly has emotional and mental counterpart, not just the physical. And it is better that we treat all these parts together. Now flower remedies are helping the mind and emotions, so that's the energy counterpart, and this is how the healing happens. So it's called as quantum healing. So if someone comes up and tells me that, I had this childhood trauma, during my childhood, and I'm still not able to forget it or even forgive the person who has done this to me, and I feel that my illness is because of that, then what we say that all right, in flower remedies we have some flowers that can help you to heal a trauma that happened even 20 years ago, even 30 years ago, even 50 years ago. So in that case, when we give the remedy, something happens at the mental and emotional level, healing happens. So what do? We rewrite our past. This is what I tell. With the flower remedies, we can rewrite our past, we can change our past, we can heal it completely. We heal the story remains the same, but we heal the emotional aspect of it, the negative aspect, the impact, the shock. So this is what we do, and then you are back into the present, living your life very peacefully. So it's not that we forget the lessons that we have learned from the experiences of life. However, we remove the negative emotional impact of the same. Now, going further, there are some flower remedies that also suggest that they may go into the past life. Now, this is completely out of the realm of the medicine that we talk today, is all physical. But there are flower remedies that also go into the trauma that may happen during the intrauterine life and also in the past life, because we are not just the physical body, we are not just a mechanical model, we are a soul who are here for a temporary experience of a physical or a human experience. We are spiritual beings. So when the soul takes incarnation, it is always also what we call as the impressions or the sanskara of the past life that you bring in. You have come for a reason, for a purpose, for a lesson, for something to experience in this lifetime. So you come with all these things, all this knowledge. You find suitable homes, suitable parents, and you continue your journey in this lifetime. So if something happened also in the previous lives, even those, some of the flower remedies can help heal. Now the next comes is called as ancestor syndrome. So my patients come and they give me this history almost all the time. I will ask family history. Oh yeah, my parents have diabetes, my father has heart disease, my aunt has cancer. So these, everybody in my family is obese or overweight, or everyone in my family has this hair issue, or everyone in the family has this mental disease that happens at the age of 60, or in my family people don't live very long. So this is all coming from our ancestors, from what we inherit in our genes. But as I mentioned, the genes, the physical counterpart, that's just the hard print, but there's also the energetic blueprint that we have, that we inherit, that we bring along with us. So flower remedies help us to disconnect from the negative influences from our past, from our past life, and also possible also from our ancestors, from the genetic heritage that we have. So this is how we help patients, that because everyone in your family has it, you need not have it. There are 5 siblings in a family. Parents had diabetes. Now all 5 may or may not have diabetes. So why does one escape? The genes are pretty much there. So this new one that comes up, it is called as epigenetics. Epigenetics is the new genetics that has now become very popular. This talks about that your genes can be turned on and can be turned off. So how that happens, that your environment helps for genes to get activated, and your environment helps your genes to get deactivated. So as per the program in your life, maybe at the age of 36, your genes get activated and you get diabetes. Now, because you had 35 years of healthy life where the gene was not activated, there is a possibility that we can turn off this gene all over again with the help of natural remedies. Remember, we are not just a physical being separate from our environment. All our loved ones, all our relatives, all our friends, all that happens in our life, we breathe, we eat, we drink water, we absorb the experiences of life. Whatever we see, we become. Whatever we hear, we become. Whatever we taste, we become. Everything that whatever we read, we become. We are sum total of this entire existence. We are microcosm of the macrocosm, and we are in dynamic equilibrium with the cosmos. We are not a static being. We are constantly changing. The moment of birth, we are also dying. Yeah, we are heading towards the death. We are constantly changing. Every moment there is some change. The skin cells change, your liver cells change. We are not the same ever. Our thoughts change. So when we are in living in a dynamic equilibrium, we are not just the physical beings, we are also the energetic beings, and we are constantly changing. So while we are living this existence, why can't we also change our past? We can also change the information in our past. Also, what is there in our genes, we do it in energetic fashions. So now you can turn off the genes, and the ones which you do not want to be activated, you can turn it off. So now this is a completely new set of information that I am talking today. It is completely out of the box. This is our hypothesis. This is our observation. We are not claiming to cure everything. We do not make any big claims of claiming this or that. We are using these remedies in as a complementary to all the other therapies that you do. So you might be doing, say, allopathic or homeopathic. You can continue doing so while we support you with these natural remedies. And there's a great possibility that you can reverse the diseases completely, and you can even prevent some of the diseases that you think your family has but you don't want to have. So this is the information that I want to share. There are some very good flower remedies like the walnut or lotus flower. There are many varieties of lotus. There are some other flowers. So all these do help. If you have any such issues where you think in my family this runs in the family or anything like that, you can always think of using, if whenever you want to get over the negative part of it. The positive part you keep, and you can continue, because our life is all about expression of our being, uh, very in a very joyful way, in a very positive way. So flower remedies are assisting this journey of our life and to live our life fullest. So hello Rachel, thank you very much once again for being here. You do love the complicated stuff, but I just thought this was the way to explain. And if there are any questions, I can always ask. I mean, you can ask and I'll answer them. So you're asking, what about healing the soul? Do you work with healing the soul? And what about karma and soul context? Yes, so there is nothing that happens to us by mistake. Everything is completely perfect in nature, in our karma, in whatever happens in our life. Whenever a disease comes, or whenever even you meet a wrong person, everything is pretty much organized, pretty much accurate, and we can change the programming into our own body, in our emotions, in our thinking, even at the soul level, so that now you do not repeat the same mistakes that you might have had made previous. This is how powerful these remedies are. So we definitely help people to erase these memories of negative impact of various memories that happen, and you start all over again. This is the best thing about flower remedies, that we are given a new chance to live a life differently. You can live it different. You can choose to change your past. This is what I tell everybody. You can choose to change your present, and by changing your present also, and by changing your past, you can change your future actually. This is how powerful these are. So this is, I hope it answers. This way you can also change the patterns of your karma that you have brought in to get a particular disease. You can improve, you can make it better, you can make it comfortable, if not completely erase, but you can make it bearable in this lifetime. If some of the karmas are very severe and your diseases associated with are very severe, very deeply linked to some learning in this lifetime, then we understand that those may not get cured, or but we can definitely make learning happen properly. And the lessons of this lifetime, are then complete. And flower remedies make it, much gentle and easier to happen. So this is how the flower remedies assist in the process of healing any disease. So more information on epigenetics. So if you want to know more about it, you should read the books by Dr. Bruce Lipton. He talks a lot about it. He has written the most famous book, Biology of Belief, and it is worth listening to him. There are loads of videos where he explains about this concept about the genes. Genes are the matter part of it. Epigenetics means, epi means around the genes, and the around the genes means the environment around the genes, that actually dictates which genes will be turned on and which genes will not be turned off. So for example, the father is alcoholic, he comes home drunk, and then he is beating mother, and the children are, witness to it, and they're constantly fighting with father, don't do this to mom, please don't do this, don't drink alcohol. And then 20 years later, suddenly, you just observe that son has become alcoholic. How does that happen? And then they say that alcoholism runs in the family, he has inherited. So actually what happens that in the childhood impressions, he has absorbed, and then finally when he becomes an adult, this gets activated, and then he becomes one that he was fighting when he was as a child. So these genes get activated, the epigenetic, explains this, how that happens, and you become the very thing that you resisted a lot. So here we can cut the patterns with the flower remedies, and you can overcome the such addictions also. So this is all that I want to say today. Thank you very much, everyone. If there are any more topics or anything that you want to learn about, and if I have experience, I'll be happy to share. And if any of you want to come live on Facebook for any of the questions, I'll figure out how to add live in this, and then we can do that also in future. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about the gut microbiome. I think it's very, very important for this time, as we are all busy sanitizing our hands and constantly washing and cleaning and getting obsessed with some germ going to attack us. So I thought it's very important that I talk about the friends in our own gut, the gut microbiome. Thank you very much.